I went on a night trek through a forest trail near the hills. It was a path I had walked many times before, but that night I discovered something in that jungle that shouldn't exist. It was supposed to be a normal trek, just a quiet walk through the forest at night. But after a few minutes, I started noticing something strange. The air felt unusually still. There were no insects, no birds, not even the sound of leaves moving in the wind. Just silence. I kept walking, deeper into the trail, using the dim flashlight on my phone. The moonlight barely reached the ground through the thick branches above. Everywhere I looked, there were only trees, fog, and darkness. Then suddenly, I heard footsteps behind me. Not mine. I stopped walking, and instantly, the footsteps stopped too. Slowly, I turned around to see who was there, but there was nothing. Just fog drifting between the tall trees. I tried to convince myself it was probably an animal, but deep inside, I knew something wasn't right. I continued walking, but then something strange happened. My phone signal disappeared. No internet, no GPS. Even the compass app stopped working. And suddenly, the trail didn't look familiar anymore. That's when I noticed something carved into one of the trees. Strange symbols. They didn't look natural. Someone had carved them there. But the marks looked old. Very old. Almost like they had been there for decades. I stepped closer to examine the symbol, and suddenly I heard a whisper behind me, soft, barely audible, but clear enough to understand. Why are you here? That was the moment I knew I had to leave. I turned around and started walking back. But after a few minutes, I realized something terrifying. The trail was gone. All I could see were trees in every direction, and the fog kept getting thicker. I kept walking for what felt like 10 minutes until I saw something that made my heart stop. The same tree, the one with the strange symbol. I had walked in a circle, and then I heard the whisper again. This time, it wasn't behind me, it was everywhere. Please. Panic took over, and I started running. Branches scratched my arms as I pushed through the trees. Then, suddenly, I stumbled into a clearing. In the center of it, there was an Old campsite, a broken tent, rotten wooden sticks, and a small stone altar. It looked ritualistic, like something dark had happened there. Then I felt again that terrible feeling, like someone standing right behind me. Slowly, I turned around, and my blood ran cold. A tall, shadowy figure stood at the edge of the fog. Its face was completely dark, but two faint glowing eyes stared directly at me. The figure slowly stepped forward and whispered in a deep voice, "You shouldn't have come here." The fog rushed around me, and everything went dark. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the trail. Everything looked normal until I looked down and saw two sets of footprints behind me, mine and another one following me. And when I turned around one last time, deep inside the forest, I saw those same glowing eyes, watching, waiting,